Hundreds of years ago, there lived a lord whose wife, Oiwa, was the most beautiful woman in the village. The lord had a friend, a jealous noblewoman who was secretly in love with him. With the help of her father, she planned to kill Oiwa and steal her husband. She accomplished this by, gave Oiwa a cat. Yeah, an evil murderous cat. Or something equally as stupid.
That's not how it goes.
Well, I can't remember the rest. If you're such an expert, then why am I the one telling the story?
Because we're all telling one, and it's your turn.
Fine, let's just get this over with. So, Oiwa loved the evil cat. She'd cuddle it every morning, and it would blink up at her with its huge psychopathic eyes and look really cute and definitely not murderous. But one night, while the woman was sleeping, the cat picked up a knife on her bedside table and...
Wait, how did it pick up the knife?
What?
It'd have to carry it in its mouth, but the blade would be sideways. So, how...
Magic or something. I don't know. If you two are gonna keep interrupting, I'm not telling the story.
No, finish it!
Yeah, sorry, please continue. You're not a bad storyteller at all.
I never said I was. What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
What's the point of telling dumb stories anyway?
It was your idea, remember? When we were talking about song ideas last week, you were all like, if you two are gonna hang around and bother me all the time, we might as well have a slumber party and tell spooky ghost stories. Ooh.
I did not say it like that. I was being sarcastic.
Well, if you don't want to finish, I guess I can tell my story next.
Be my guest. Out of all three of us, Ayaka, yours is bound to be the least scary.
We'll see. Okay, turn out the lights. Long ago, there lived a widowed man named Ogiwara. On the first night of Obon, holed up in his room to avoid the festivities, Ogiwara looked out the window and saw a beautiful young woman walking down the street. She was accompanied by a servant who held a glowing peony lantern. Ogiwara was entranced, and so he invited her into his home. The two fell in love over the course of the night, but the woman, whose name was Otsuyu, insisted on leaving as morning dawned. For weeks, Otsuyu would visit Ogiwara at night and leave before the sun rose. But Ogiwara's neighbor could sense that there was something not right. One night, he peeked through a hole in the wall into Ogiwara's house. For a second, as his eyes were adjusting to the dim lighting, he thought nothing was wrong. A second later, he stumbled backwards, throwing his hands over his mouth in horror. There, in the waning light of the moon, tangled in Ogiwara's arms, was a rotted and yellowed skeleton. When it opened its crooked jaw,
What did it say?
nothing. Instead of a voice, a hideous screeching noise echoed out instead. Then, suddenly, the skeleton turned to stare directly at the hole in the wall that the neighbor was watching through. His eyes met empty sockets like endless pits, and he felt his blood freeze. But the corpse went back to dancing with Ogiwara. As soon as it had shuffled out into the dawn, the neighbor ran to tell Ogiwara of what he had seen. Ogiwara agreed to stop seeing Otsuyu, but as the nights passed and his loneliness returned, he found he wanted to see her again. What did it matter if she was dead? And so, on a misty, pitch-black night, he wandered to the graveyard where her body lay rotting in the earth. At the gate, she greeted him and led him to her tomb by the light of that ethereal peony lantern. It was open. Hands intertwined with his lover's, Ogiwara descended, one limb at a time, into the suffocating darkness.
Are you okay, Akko?
Yeah, I'm not scared at all. There's no way Ogiwara actually dies. Finish the story.
Well, when Ogiwara had been missing for weeks, the keeper of the graveyard opened up Otsuyu's tomb. And within were the corpses of both Ogiwara and Otsuyu. One flesh, one skeleton, forever entwined in death.
Boo!
Seriously, how old are you? Like 5?
You were scared.
I was not.
So, the story was good? It's one of my favorites.
It was very spooky, top tier spooky, but mine's gonna be even scarier.
I can't wait to hear a ghost story from such an expert.
Shh! I'm starting! It was a dark and stormy night.
Wow, creative.
Shut up! Everyone knows all good scary stories start with that line. Anyways, it was a dark and stormy night, and a servant lady named Okiku was washing dishes for the powerful samurai Aoyama. Even though he was rich and famous, he was also violent, because he was really lonely. He had tried for months to get Okiku to be his friend, but as a servant, she was afraid of him and never said yes. Finally, Aoyama got angry enough to trick her. He hid one of his 10 fanciest plates and called Okiku from the kitchen to accuse her of losing it. She was super scared because she knew servants who lost their master's things were always killed. Okiku started to cry, and she counted the plates again and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Get on with it.
It's part of the story. She hit 9, but no matter how many times she recounted, she never got to 10. Aoyama told her that he would keep her mistake quiet if she would spend time with him. But she said no, and Aoyama threw her into the castle's well to drown. From that night forward, Okiku's ghost wandered the castle searching for the missing dish. She counted over and over from 1 to 9 before shrieking a blood-curdling scream. One night, Aoyama was out of bed, walking through the castle. As he went down the corridor to the kitchen, the air got colder and colder. He couldn't see where he was going because his eyes were so bloodshot from weeks of not sleeping. Suddenly, the freezing voice of a woman was all around him, beginning to count. His heart was pounding, and he tried to retreat, but his feet were stuck in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. With each number, the voice got closer and Aoyama's hands began to shake. 5, 6, 7. Cold sweat ran down his back as he felt the slightest brush of ice-cold fingers across his neck. 8, 9.
Who is it?
It says unknown caller.
Maybe it's a ghost.
Wait, don't pick up. Asami. No. What are you?
Hello? Are you a ghost?
Greetings, Asami Ito, Ayaka Yoshida, Aku Mizuki.
You know our names?
I know many things. I've been watching you three all night.
Where the hell are you?
I'm right behind you.
Oh my god, you two really fell for it. I wish I could see your faces right now. I bet they're hilarious.
You?
Aha! I thought it was you, Zara. You were really lucky with the timing there.
Excuse me, my timing is hardly lucky. Pranks are an art. Anyway, how's the Akuma sleepover going? Has Asami told her version of Okiku's story yet?
I was, until you interrupted. No spoilers.
Don't worry, your ending is safe with me. Anyway, I gotta go. Our local moms are calling me. Have fun!
Wow, I am actually surrounded by 5-year-olds.
5-year-olds who are way less scared than you.
Yeah, right. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Don't bother me, please, and thank you.
No fun. Like you'll be able to sleep.
Hey, how does the story end, Asami?
Oh, the samurai apologizes, becomes friends with Okiku, and they live happily ever after. Hey, what's so funny?
Nothing. I think the ending is nice. It's very you.
Yeah, because ghosts and people would be happier if they just became friends, obviously.
I think so too. Good night, Asami. Akko.
Good night.
Good night.